Hey guys, what's going on? Joe Capizzi here, NYC BJJ, along with Joseph Manuel, Hobson Mora Black Belt. We're here today, guys, to help give you guys a new technique that we think will help you escape the bow and arrow slash cradle choke. Different guys have different names for it, but it's a very popular move in sport jiu-jitsu and in training, and many guys are going for a grip that involves force, and that usually isn't very successful at all, especially at a high level. So we want to demonstrate for you guys how to escape untying yourself out of a position where you could actually submit your training partner if he's not resilient enough to get back to his guard. At the very least, you'll escape this move and will not get armbarred because of the position we'll have our arms in. And then from there, I think you guys will just have like a broader concept on how to pass. And I wanted to make sure I did this with somebody I'm friends with, and also a guy that I compete against with. Me and Joseph represent two different school systems, but he's here to help my family today for a charity cause, and that's when all that, that type of stuff gets put in the background. We're both humans here. We both care about jiu-jitsu more than anything, except for our children, So with that said, we come out and train and support each other. Neither one of us believes in politics in the sport. It just holds back science. It's like trying to tell kids in school that they can't study evolution, and they're limited to that scientist perspective that the Earth's a few thousand years old. It's like, we want to know how we can move forward with this and make it better. And we need to just be open-minded scientists, So with that, we're going to start this position. You want to explain to them how you're going through moves, grabbing grips?
Okay, so of course everybody knows, we start this position from the back, and then I'm going to just get my basic grip here on the lapel and make sure that I turn my wrist and palm toward his neck. I'll get the grip on the pant leg here, and then we're going to move into the position so Joe can break down the escape that he's talking about, okay? So I'm going to just remove my leg here, put my hook across, and then we're going to start from this position here.
We're going to freeze frame it right here, guys. And what Joseph did was he got his grips with the choke, transitioned his legs off me to the side. This is right when the guy is about to let gravity kick over for the move, and he falls back and does the row and the bow technique. What I want to have happen is I grab my training partner's wrist. And it's like when the guy's attacking you from the back, you try to pull his grip over more. So he doesn't have the opportunity to get that move on. It's not as tight to my neck now. Sometimes you can't even move the guy's arm, but I need to keep my body mechanics dialed in right. So I like to trap the guy's wrist first. You'll never see me doing this. I did this when I was white belt, blue belt, and got choked, nearly unconscious many times. It don't get you nowhere. And when you see the gods of the sport get choked like this, the world championships, it lets you know that this is not a solution. It's not going to work. And if it works against somebody lesser, it doesn't make it a good solution, So what we find is working better is that we trap here, you stay on your toes, guys. You can't lay here with your legs like this. You're accepting defeat. That's the guy who's choked out, he looks like this. I want the guy up on his feet like this so I can get my hips floating off the ground. Just like if I was attacking any other submission, my hips gotta come up. My hand's gonna pass behind my head. Even if Joseph had a really tight grip with his shoulder back here, I could always fit my hand back here. And I know from the fall back, he's gotta extend his arm. It's gonna be possible for me to duck my head out. I have his wrist locked up, and I'm pushing all my weight on his elbow. If I would have did this from on my butt, Joseph maybe throw his leg over my face and do try to armbar me right here and catch me in a bad hold. When my hips are up, I'm not worried about that, because the second he swings his leg over, it's going to be possible for me to just turn to my knees. The very least, I just back off and go for a guard pass. But I get out of this choke tie-up, and we start cleaning up some solid etiquette mistakes that happen in guys in training. Right here, make sure you shrimp, you shoulder, you trap his hand. My hand's gonna go behind his head. Right as he's going back for his move, reach through, I duck my head back. You won't have to always duck it back this far, but I'm just showing you guys to exaggerate when a guy is really bullying you. You duck your head back, and then I want my head against my hand, which keeps my arm safe. Because now I could turn my hips over and drive his elbow right to the floor here. Either he can tap out from me, driving him here and levering his arm, or he could roll over so we can continue our training session. And then we're right back here, going back for guard work against the guy. So depending on whether your opponent is versed in this or not, will lead to them type of scrambles. I'm able to pass right out of the move. I'm a big fan of this in many positions, guys. With a breaking grips from the open guard, I trap guys' wrist, and I'll pull the elbow open this way. Guys usually expect, no, I'll break the grip here, break the grip here. No, I'll pull it at the elbow here, open his shoulder up where he's weak. Now, one more time. And even guys, when you have somebody put this move on you, and the guy starts, go back a step. The guy starts doing this with like force. As soon as you get here, you're always gonna be defending your neck, and then all of a sudden the guy really starts putting some pressure on this move. It's gonna be so easy to turn out. Where you freeze frame it and know those exact moments where I have to be on my hips. Turn my hips over, and I know I'm free out of this. And then it's just a matter of what level of opponent am I dealing with. Does he get simply to here? Does he have to roll over because I sat up on it really hard? Then maybe the guy is bigger and taller where I'm stuck underneath him, but I'm no longer in a chokehold. Different options will happen, but the big picture for today's lesson, guys, is that you don't always look for what's in front of you for answers. Sometimes it's behind you. As the guy transitions, look. This is the easy way of doing this. Just finding an easy path that don't involve this struggle and stress, and I'm no longer being choked. The more I open my neck up, I'm out of the move. I think this will work well for a lot of you guys out there. Give it a whirl. You're gonna have to practice defending these moves regardless in training. And what I like to do is I break this down in stages, and I have stage 1, bow and arrow choke, stage 2, and stage 3. And I refer to them as the different type of guys who understand these escapes and the different body types that do this. Homo liberal, he does this stage 1. His grips are so sick and his body language that he don't even cross his feet over your guard. He put his feet down like this and rip, the choke off on people. Then there's stage 2 guys that they trap their guard on you like this and say, oh man, I don't want you to try to sit up and escape. And then stage 3 is, guys like Capizzi says, I'll put the foot on the other side of your head because I know that stage 1 and 2 are never gonna slide against a guy of high caliber. And the guy just throws you right into the furnace for the last one, You get your grips. Here's the big guy version, stage 1. They just keep their hands on the floor, they're cradling the head here. Stage 2, you see for guys like me and Joseph, the guys are here. But when you're facing guys that have trained this just as much as you never know what they're gonna do to escape. These guys will start opting to put the leg here because it kills the pocket. So this is how I try to organize this for my students. I think it'll give you guys a few concepts to work with and know who you're dealing with when the guy is choking you and what escapes are actually in range for you to access. Thank you guys. Joseph Manuel. Thank you, brother.